Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look here, y'all know I've been in prison a long time, man. It'll be 38 years in January. And I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of. I've done a lot of things that could have gotten me more time. And, think about that now. I got all of this time. Y'all know how much time I got. I got all this time on my sentence, and I was doing things that could have added to that. Conceivably, I could have gotten enough time added to my sentence that I would have never even had a possibility of getting out. Absolutely no possibility at all. And I didn't even think about that the way that I should be thinking about it. Should have been thinking about it. I didn't even think about, who it would affect, who it would hurt, how it would hurt me, right? How it would hurt me. And it was all because my mindset was in a certain place, and that place was a place of pity for myself. Now, y'all bear with me because I want to paint this picture. It was a place of pity for myself, despair, all of those different types of things, right? And all of those different emotions that I was feeling was being acted out through my behavior. Hustling, getting money, this, and that. And I know that may not make a lot of sense to you, but I want you to think about something that you might be going through in your life, right? Where you don't feel like things are, quite the way you want them to be, or not fair to you as the way you see it. And then think about the behavior that you exhibit, right? Not necessarily understanding the connection between the two, right? But look at it and think about, why would I be acting like this when it's not to my benefit? And that could be like cheating on whoever you're with, being rude to somebody at work, or just mistreating your child, or mistreating your parents, or something like that. Think about it in that context and think, why is my behavior negative and counterproductive? What's really going on with me? And for me, I figured out that it's because I wasn't happy. I wasn't free. And when I say free, I mean free in the sense of spiritually, mentally, of course physically. But all of those different things played into my mindset. And when I allowed that to overcome me, it opened me up to doing all kinds of things. Look, when I was in rotation, oh my God. Anything. Anything. You know what I mean? And the amount of drugs I was associating myself with, and the chances I was taking, and the people that I was putting at risk, and telling myself that it's going to be okay. Well, there's no way that I could know that. There's no way that I can know that. And that's what this story is about. The one I'm about to tell you. It's about this dude named Mike, right? Mike came into prison with a 5-year sentence, y'all. 5 years. 5 years at 30%, right? 5 years at 30%. So he would do around 1.5, 2 years before he would even have an opportunity to get out. But he was having an opportunity to get out way before his time was up. But let me just tell you the story. Mike came in and he acclimated to the environment like a lot of people do, real fast. And he started to see things that he felt like he could become a part of, getting some money, hustling, all of that, the gang life, all of that type of stuff, the drinking, the alcohol, trying to come up, with a female here and there that worked in the prisons, or coming up with a female on the phone that was not the main girl that he was with when he was on the streets. All of those types of things were open to him, and he felt good doing it. Felt great doing it. Had no remorse, no empathy, sympathy, or any of that for the individuals that he had to use and manipulate along the way, right? So Mike, he convinced his sister to work with him, because she was the one that visited him the most. He had a girlfriend, but she had a job. Excuse me. She had a job, and she couldn't come to visit him as much as she wanted to, And they didn't have any kids, so it really wasn't a connection like that. But she was there for him. He talked to her on the phone and all this and that. But Mike was about the hustle. He was about the hustle. He wasn't happy at all about how his life was turning out, but he had grown numb to it. And that's what happens to a lot of us, even y'all out there. Mike had grown numb to the pain that he was feeling, so he acted it out, you know what I'm saying, in ways that were detrimental to his well-being. Detrimental to his well-being in all kinds of ways. And when you do that, your mind becomes polluted. It becomes polluted to the extent that nothing matters but what you want, what you think you need to satisfy whatever it is that you're feeling. So Mike got this bag, and he's getting money. He's not major, but he's getting enough money for him, $500-$600, you know what I'm saying, here and there, you know, a week. That's pretty good money for somebody. Excuse me. That's pretty good money for somebody that, you know, doesn't have any obligations, no kids to send the money to. It's only him, and he breaks his sister off here and there, and his girlfriend, she didn't really even need anything from him, so he was straight. Back in the day, $2,000 a month, that's getting it. That's getting it, you know what I'm saying? When you're not really heavy in it, right? It's just a little bag here, a little bag there, right? But he was serious about his loot, because the worst thing you can do in the penitentiary is be selling something or in the lane where you get money and people not paying you and you not doing anything about it. You know what I'm talking about? So check this out. So Mike, he getting his bread, and now his name is starting to ring with the administration. And one of the officers that happened to be from the same hometown that he was from, he didn't know Mike, but he was from the same hometown, so they used to talk, and they knew a few people, you know what I'm saying, that in common, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like they had a connection like that. So he used to talk to Mike just because they were from the same hometown and tell him, look, man, you might want to chill, man. Sit down, go off for parole, go home, leave this life behind you. And Mike would always tell him, I'm good, I got this, man. Ain't nothing going on. You know, the typical line that you tell the police, regardless of whether they're from their hometown or not. Man, I ain't doing nothing. I don't know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Them folks lying on me. All of that, right? So he playing his role to the fullest. But the officer, he knows what's going on. He's hearing the conversations from the people now front and all this and that. He's not telling them private conversations, but he's trying to let them know, look, you might need to be careful, man. You might need to sit your butt down. You know, officers will do that when they don't want to see you getting in no trouble. You know what I mean? They ain't going to give you the inside, but they'll give you a little bit of nudge and say, look, man, sit down. They own you. But Mike didn't pay attention to any of that. He really relished that cat and mouse, the chase, you know. So they hit him one night. The police on the shakedown. They get a little something. Got like maybe a half ounce of weed, nothing major, you know what I mean? And they take him to the hole. And now this is his first time in the hole, so he's sweating. He don't know what they gonna do. And you know, a lot of people, when you get caught up in here, you think about like your encounters with the police on the streets and what it was like. So they catch you with something on the streets, you're going to jail, you're gonna get charged. In here, he's thinking the same thing because he had no he didn't have any reference point to bounce it off of and say, well, this is what they're gonna do, right? And he didn't ask anybody about, you know, what they were gonna do. He didn't know that he was going to the hole. So while he's in the hole, he's asking all these different guys that are in the hole with him what they gonna do. What they gonna do? You know what I mean? He think he finna catch another case. So he's nervous. So the guys in the hole say, man, you're gonna get you about 10 days in the hole, then you're gonna get back out and you can resume what you're doing, or you can lay down, whatever the case may be. So Mike asked me, he said, they not gonna charge me? He's like, nah, they ain't gonna charge with that. They gonna just take that and dispose of it, and that's the end of it. So everything that they told Mike was gonna happen, happened. I mean, down to the T. Every detail was exactly on point as the way they told him. So Mike ends up getting 10 days in the hole, right? He pled guilty. He felt like he was getting over. He pled guilty. They ain't charge him. They ain't getting none of his money. All this and that. He's straight. Little half ounce. That ain't nothing. Bounce back real quick. You know understand what I'm saying? So check this out. Here's another thing. He does his 10 days and he gets out of the hole. Now he's emboldened. Ain't nothing bothering him now. It's like, shoot, if that's all they gonna do, I'm finna get it. So now he goes up in the game. You understand what I'm saying? He got some cred now. You know, you go to the hole in the penitentiary and don't say nothing, because, you know, everybody in here that's doing things, you know a little bit about what the other individuals are doing. You may not know much, but you know a little bit. So people think that you know, when you go to the hole, it's always a chance that you might break and tell it. Mike didn't tell a thing. He didn't say anything. They didn't ask him either. You know what I'm saying? So now he's got credibility on the compound as somebody that'll keep his mouth shut, even though the situation was never presented to him like that. So now Mike's got credibility. He wants to step it up a little bit. He doubles up on what he's getting. Everything is cool. You know, he buys his off the land. His sister's not taking it to him. His sister just making sure his money is straight. You know what I'm saying? Mailing money orders home or going to Western Union and picking it up. This was way back in the day. Some of y'all might not even know what Western Union is. But anyway, it's a money transfer place back in the day. And I think they still got it today, but it was big and popping. You know what I'm saying? The way Cash App and all that popping today, Western Union was the one back in the day. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, everything is moving good. He's doubling up on his money. He's doing good, right? And lo and behold, check this out. Every time you think something is going good for you, it changes up. The game changes up on you real fast. His reputation was picking up. And he had talked to some old heads and they told him, look, if you're going to do this, you got to be fully committed to the game. And if you're fully committed to the game, you can't take no losses. Because it's not about the $5, $10, or $20 that you would lose by letting it slide. It's what message you will be sending to all the other people that are buying from you that's important. You see, this is where the manipulation of the game takes hold of you, right? So when Mike is listening to this, he's like, man, I ain't nobody not going to pay me. I'm not accepting that. They don't pay me my money, I'm going to deal with them on the spot. You feel what I'm saying? Now, in the penitentiary, dealing with somebody takes on a whole another level. You can deal with them by beating them up, running them to the back, or putting that thing in them, one of the two. You understand what I'm saying? One of the three. Now, Mike said he going to deal with them. And you never can predict how that's going to play out because most people assume that the individual that might have not paid is a sucker, right? Because he likes to get high and all this and that. But that's not the case. That's not true at all. You know what I'm saying? In most situations. Things happen. Things happen. So when you get ready to go take care of business, you got to go. And in here, ain't no pistols, y'all. Ain't no long distance taking care of business. It's face to face. All the way. You understand what I'm saying? Knuckle on knuckle, blade on blade, whatever way you want to get down. But it ain't no long distance stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to stand down 100 feet away and shoot no pistol at nobody. That ain't how that work in here. You got to have it in you, man, to take care of business in here. And most people don't. Most people don't. But check this out. Mike is dealing with this dude. He'd been a good customer, taking care of the business, always on time, never missed a beat. Never missed a beat. But Mike is listening to all this nonsense and his head is getting full of all of this, you know what I'm saying, this false bravado and his chest sticking out and he beating his chest like he just King Kong or somebody, right? Now check this out. See, that makes your mind feel like you invincible. And now in your head, it's like, man, this dude disrespecting me. So this is what happened. One of Mike's most loyal customers, dedicated to the business, he gonna get him a bag every week. He gonna spend a nifty 50 every week. Every week. And his family, they gonna mail it to Mike's people. It's understood. When he come pick it up, it ain't even, they don't even have to talk about it. It's understood. But let me tell you something. You know how they say about the post office, rain, sleet, or snow, the mail must go. And all that's true, right? But here's the thing. Stuff gets slowed down. Stuff gets slowed down. You know what I mean? So you got to be patient. You got to be patient. So dude puts it in the mail. Take what he had his family, put it in the mail. That's what he's telling Mike. That's what he's telling Mike. But see, he was having problems at home that were none of Mike's business. You know, none of Mike's business. But he told Mike, because he came to Mike a little early. He normally get his bag on Friday so he could ride out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But he came on a Wednesday. And he told Mike, he said, look, I got you. You know I got you, right? Because he was having family problems, right? And see, when you're having family problems, the way you normally would do things might not work out the same way. Things are going on at the house. They're not thinking about you in the penitentiary. You're going to be all right. Ain't nothing too much changing for you. But if something happened out there, because Mike's partner, the one that was buying this from, his sister was in a car wreck. She was in a car wreck, and he was worried about her. He was worried that something, know what I'm saying, more serious was going on than she was telling them, because that's what our families do to us a lot. Something going on at the house, they don't really tell us the full story because they don't want us to worry. So Mike's customer was worried because they were being real vague about the details of the situation. And dude loved his sister, and he wanted her to be all right. He really wasn't concerned about her taking care of his business. He wanted her to be all right. So he got a little nervous, got a little antsy, and he went to Mike early, and he said, man, let me get a bag. I got you. You know I got you. You know I got you. So he does that. He gives him the bag, and now his client, his customer, he's talking to his sister. She happens to be released from the hospital, and she's home, and she tells him, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to take care of that for you, but it might be a day or so late. So he said, no problem. But see, that small detail was something that he left out when he told Mike, I got you. Because he assumed, because he had been keeping it 100 with Mike, that Mike was going to be patient and understanding, that he was going to get what he's supposed to get. He assumed that. Now check this out. This is what happened. When he got the bag, Mike was saying everything is straight. Now, the money gets put in the mail. It's on its way. Now, you're going to have to come back and listen to this next episode to see what's going on. Don't worry. The episode is going to be up on the same day, so you're going to get the whole story the same day, okay? I just want you to come back. You feel what I'm saying? This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.